Hello everyone and welcome to the Maven Dojo. As much as we hate it, today's gaming landscape is filled with sequels, remakes, and remasters. A lot of people are tired and we can see a lot of videos on YouTube talking about how the industry is so afraid of making something new. But instead of complaining about it, I wanted to embrace it. So in no particular order, here are 5 games that are in dire need of a sequel. Some people say the RTS genre is pretty much dead right now. Aside from Microsoft releasing Age of Empires 4 in 2021, no other AAA studios have released anything recently. Age of Mythology was a spin-off of the aforementioned Age of Empires, where aside from using archers, infantry, and cavalry, you could also control mythological creatures and use godly powers from the Greek, Norse, and Egyptian pantheon. Personally, I grew up on this game and love it to death. I still played it recently and it still holds up surprisingly well. It had a good campaign where you got to play pretty much all gods and a very fun multiplayer with very distinct playstyles. So, how likely is the Age of Mythology 2? I don't think it's very likely, or even if they do bring it back, I don't trust Microsoft to do it correctly. In my opinion, the main reason why the RTS genre is so dead is that recent games just don't feel good to control. I tried playing Iron Harvest and Company of Heroes recently, but I feel like I spend more time fighting with the controls rather than fighting my opponents. And Age of Mythology actually got DLC in 2016, a whopping 14 years after the initial release, which is at least odd. So I'd actually give you like 30% chance of we ever seeing an Age of Mythology 2 at some point in the future. And they announced a remake. Whoops. Released on February 7, 2012, this action RPG became a cult classic. Kingdoms of Amalur lets you mix and match between the classic warrior, ranger, and mage archetypes. So you could always focus on one path if you wanted to, or you could make your own hybrid playstyle. Another thing that I loved about this game was the crazy kill animations, almost like the ones in the old God of War in the PS2 or PS3 era. But even with the game's troublesome development cycle, character models looking really weird, and being released just 3 months after a small little RPG called Skyrim, the game still found financial success, but it was already too late for 3A Studios as they were involved in a lot of drama and they were $75 million in debt to the state of Rhode Island. They couldn't pay it off, so they just fired everyone and closed the studio. Yikes. Well, how likely is the Kingdoms of Amalur 2? Well, somewhat recently we did get a remaster version of the game, and also on December 14, 2021 they did release DLC. However, the common trend on the Steam reviews is that it's just plain boring. So I think there is hope as they release a DLC, but the hope is very dim. I would say like 20% chance that we ever see anything from this franchise ever again. Released on September 1st, 2004 for the PS2, Def Jam Fight for New York was just legendary. It was basically a wrestling game, but instead of wrestlers, they used rappers in a street fighting setting. You fight on rooftops, underground clubs, in the subway. Besides gameplay, they also had a great story mode where you create your own character, fight for money and experience, hit the gym, and of course get dripped out. The game had different fighting styles, being able to learn multiple styles, and the supers. Oh man, the supers.
Nice.
While still being home of the 2 of the sickest burns in video game history.
You're nothing but a punk, your daddy's a punk, and your mama's a bitch.
You can't be a pimp if you get owned like a hoe.
Emotional damage.
If they did bring this game back, I wish they did something like Street Fighter 6 is doing a little bit, with the old versus new generation kind of vibe. I don't really listen to rap, but I know that Lupe Fiasco was in a Street Fighter event back in the day, and Lil Nas has a relationship with Riot Games. So I can definitely see more rappers doing partnerships within the gaming industry. So how likely are we to see a Def Jam 2? Compared to previous entries, I've seen a bigger sentiment in general for people wanting this game to come back. Ice-T even tweeted about this last year. So this one I would say like a 50-50. It would definitely be surprising for it to come back after so long, but I think the time is right. 2024 on the horizon, old versus new generation. Come on EA, just do it. Released September 16, 2005, Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks was just amazing. You play as Liu Kang and Kung Lao, but instead of the 1 versus 1 that we are used to, you get to control these characters in a beat 'em up style game. I would love to see this game come back, especially since it's something that is severely lacking in today's landscape, as a 2-player co-op game. And that is something that people do want, as It Takes Two was exclusively a co-op experience and it won Game of the Year 2021. Besides, action games are in, like Nier, Devil May Cry 5 and Bayonetta 3, they were all pretty successful. So it would be a good time for a Shaolin Monks 2. So, how likely are we to get a Shaolin Monks 2? I'd say pretty unlikely, even though it's a perfect time, especially since we had the reboot of the story in MK9, we could set the game any time after that. But I don't see NRS making anything but fighting games. Maybe they could lend the rights to another company like Platinum Games, much like Bethesda lended the Fallout IP to Obsidian so they could make Fallout New Vegas. But as much as I would love a Shaolin Monks 2, I'd give it like a 10% chance that we'll ever see this game again. I can see them commissioning another company to remake or remaster the game, since Ed Boon even tweeted about it. A remaster with network play would be a blessing, but I really don't see NRS doing a Shaolin Monks 2 like ever. Before I get to the last one, here's a quick message from our sponsor. Are you tired of missing out great videos? Subscribe is a service that lets you know when new videos are available on YouTube. They are guaranteed to make your day better in every single way. Subscribing also makes your day better by knowing that you helped the content creator move out of his mom's basement. And now with our special promotion, the first 100 people that subscribe will get subscribed for completely free. No calls, no credit cards, just a button on your screen. Click now and let the days of missing great content be a thing of the past. Released on February 19, 2013, this game is a banger. I feel like every couple of years this game gets a resurgence. Much like other works of art, this game gets more and more influential as time goes by. Funny enough, not so much for its gameplay, which is good, but I don't think it's the same level of DMC4 released around the same time. But Metal Gear Rising gets most of its fans by their themes,
The DNA of the soul.
like Senator Armstrong saying
Make America great again!
before the other politician. And what can you even say about the music in this game? It's just on another level that has not been seen since. We get some crazy good soundtracks like Doom or Guilty Gear, but how the music is actually implemented within the boss fights, it just elevated each fight to crazy hype levels. Like this moment. That's when you knew you were playing something special. So, could this happen? Could we get a Metal Gear Rising 2? Well, the composer is still around according to IMDb. Konami has the rights for the Metal Gear franchise, and even though Kojima has obviously left Konami, Revengeance takes place in the future, so they are free to take the story anywhere they want. Especially since he wasn't even the main producer in Revengeance. Platinum Games is free now since they already released Bayonetta 3 and Babylon's Fall. Yeah, remember that? No? Good. The sad part is that a sequel was actually teased at Taipei Game Show 2015, but nothing came of it.
Fulton deployment in 3, 2.
So, in my opinion, there is a chance it could happen. I'd go with like a 50-50. Definitely would be a great surprise, but I wouldn't hold my breath. And I also think that if they were to do it, they have to do it now. The game is just about to hit its 10-year anniversary next month. There is no better time to announce a surprise sequel. So, do you have another game that you think should be on the list? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, you would probably like this one that I talk about the best fighting game character designs in recent years. If not, here's another video that YouTube thinks you're gonna like. As always, thank you for supporting the Maven Dojo, and I'll see you guys on my next video.